Let's begin with politics. All is set for the All Progressives Congress primary election in Lagos State, taking place at the party secretariat in Ikeja under tight security. The election will determine APC candidates for chairmanship and councillorship positions ahead of the July 12 local government elections. According to the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission, 57 councils comprising 20 local government areas and 37 local council development areas will elect 377 councillors. Of 470 aspirants who submitted nomination forms, 432 chairmanship hopefuls will be cleared by the APC screening committee.
God will be with you and God will bless you. As you dedicate your time for the party, God will dedicate his time for you and your family. So as we are calm like this, let's be calm. We will go in, the SEC has seen the process. We go in, we do our voting peacefully, we will count, and everybody will go. There are some local governments that they don't consensus, they have only one candidate. So those are the ones that they will do first, because there's only one. So they will do those one first, because their leadership, they've agreed, they have only one candidate collected the form. So that way we do them, they go home, chicken, okay? All the others, we will then start the voting, we'll count in front of everybody, and we all go home peacefully. So it's a peaceful process. So I want to thank you again, on behalf of our party, on behalf of our president, on behalf of the governor of the state. I want to thank all of us. Let's do it peacefully, we'll do it quickly, and we go. And like I said, our LASEC, the chairman, all the commissioners are here, they're observing it.
Meanwhile, the Labour Party in Lagos State has inaugurated a 24-man caretaker executive committee as it plans to strengthen its presence in the state. For the party, this marks a new chapter in Lagos State as it prepares to make a significant impact on the forthcoming local government election. Idalani Yomoni completes the report.
Can we stand down the feeble strength of one?
The ceremony was attended by party chieftains, members and other stakeholders from ward, state and national levels as the newly 24-man Lagos Chairman Executive Council was sworn in.
I do solemnly and sincerely swear before the members of the Labour Party.
In his acceptance speech, the newly appointed chairman of the committee emphasized that the council's mandate is to build a better Labour Party in Lagos, particularly as the party prepares for July 12 local government elections.
We are a caretaker committee. We are here to bring Labour back to where it needs to be within the state. So our 180 days that we have, that's part of our mandate as well. Even though we have a very short space of time, we'll gather ourselves together, come to a consensus, bring the family and the factions together and do what we need to do to win the local government elections and the ward elections.
In solidarity, stakeholders seized the opportunity to declare their support for the new committee in a bid to take over Lagos polity.
The first assignment is this local government election. We are going to give it 50-50. If they bring it 100, we'll give them 100. In as much if you call us and you carry us along.
We're not just starting new structures, we have existing structure. And with the way things are going in the country at the moment, it's going to be a lot easier for us to get more people to join our existing structure.
Because the power belongs to the people, and the ability to bring the people back, to give the power back to the people, will make the party to progress.
We thank you. We're going to work in tandem with you from NSC, and let's castigate it to our worst.
The gathering also served as an opportunity for the party's leadership to address concerns about the ongoing leadership tussle within the party.
I don't know why, because of money, people will now go and misinterpret and will report to them. Some people even still call Abure a national chairman, and I'm like, what? It depends on what you call faction. If a band of men decide to be holding their own meetings, they're free to it. There's freedom of association in Nigeria. They could go ahead and be doing what they're doing, but we are moving on.
Despite this, the Labour Party reaffirmed its commitment to rescuing Nigeria and work towards progress. The council expressed confidence in the party's ability to emerge victorious in future elections. In Lagos for News Central, Igbalani Omoni.
Let's now track back to talk about the All Progressives Congress primary election currently being held at the Ikeja Secretariat. We have our correspondent, Omolola Ololade, who is actually standing by to give us the updates. Omolola, good afternoon to you. What do we need to understand as regards the primary elections of the APC? I think we seem not to have Omolola Ololade's audio right there. Maybe it's something we'll need to check back with to get more details from her as regards how the primary election is ongoing or is being conducted at the Ikeja Secretariat. Omolola, we'll come to you in a while. Now, let's move on. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, says all 3 PDP senators from Kebbi State are set to defect to the APC. Speaking to reporters after meeting with President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa, Ganduje said extensive discussions among Kebbi stakeholders led to the decision. He appeared alongside Kebbi Governor Nasir Idris and the 3 senators, namely Adamu Aliero, Yahaya Abdullahi, and Garba Midoki. Ganduje stated that the president has given his full blessing to the planned defection, which he says will be formalized in the Senate by Tuesday. The APC chairman dismissed fears of a one-party state, saying the defections reflect the democratic choices of Nigerians. He added that managing political shifts is part of the party's strength and constitutional rights. Okay, so I understand that Omolola Ololade can hear me, and we will be able to hear her right now. Can you kindly give us an update of how the APC primary election is ongoing at the Secretariat?
Yes, we're presently at, the APC Secretariat here in Ikeja Akme Road. And then, the voting process, the voting exercise started at about 12 in the afternoon today. And then it's still ongoing. It's past 3 and it's still ongoing. We have more than half of the, 20 local government and the 37 LCDAs present here. And more than half of these delegates have voted for the, chairmanship candidate of their choice. And then, presently I have one of the, chairmanship aspirant present with me. His name is Honorable Olatunji Orabi. He's one of the chairmanship aspirant representing Olonda LCDA in Lagos. Can we have you? So, from your assessment, what would you say is what's your assessment of the voting exercise since it started in the afternoon up until now, please?
Good afternoon. So far, so good. It's been very well organized. It's been calm. It's been a peaceful atmosphere, as you can see. We've been here since morning, though it took a little while for the exercise to get going. But after the accreditations and every stakeholder were passed through to come in, and we were addressed. And ever since the process has started, it's been very cool, very calm, and you will agree with me, it's been very credible of some sort, because there's been no complaints so far. Some of our people have been able to cast their votes peacefully, and they've gone back to their various abode. But we still have some of the aspirants and their agents waiting to see the outcome of the whole exercise. So I give kudos to the organizers so far, led by the chairman of the party, Pastor Cornelius Ajalabi. He's done a very good job, a yeoman's job, I must say.
Okay, so I'd like to ask you, earlier we talked about the role of, the role of the delegate. Can you, shed more light on that? What do you think is the role of the delegate in ensuring that the right person, the right chairmanship candidate wins for each local government and LCDA?
Well, the delegates are essentially holding the will and the goodwill of the party and the future of the local communities in this case. There's no gainsaying that they are representative of the people. Ordinarily, we have various types of primary elections. We have the direct primaries and the indirect primaries. The direct primaries is where every member of the party at the grassroots level are afforded the opportunity to cast their vote for the candidates of their choice. But in this case, perhaps because of the sensitivity of the time, the security organization, because it's the direct primary is a statewide thing, and you agree with me that our security apparatus in recent times have been stretched to their various capacities. So I think in the wise counsel of the organizers and the party, they've resulted to the indirect primaries, which also essentially is the voice of the people, because these delegates are various members of the party spread across the various wards of various councils, and we believe that the voice of the delegates are the voice of the people. So in other words, the responsibility is huge. We can't rule that out. It's very, very huge, and it weighs on them, and we appreciate and acknowledge the fact that it's a huge responsibility. That is why every delegate had to go to these various, every aspirant, so to speak, had to go to the various delegates and present their case, their agenda, their passion, and their vision to convince them why they are the choice or the best choice for the job. And for me, I can say for myself that I have done the best I can to convince them as a youth, as an experienced hand, because I've been in local government administration for give or take about 8 years now, and being the fact that being in government, I've been afforded the grace and opportunity to see firsthand what governance is all about, the challenges, where we need to effect changes, and where we need to intensify more effort to see that our people really enjoy the dividends of democracy, particularly the grassroots.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. So that's Honorable Prince Olatunji from Olatunji Ogabi from Olorunda LCDA, and he's talked about the whole exercise starting from the screening process up until now when they voted, and they're still voting.
Thank you so much, Molola, for bringing us that update. Hopefully, we'll still get to connect with you to get more details, probably the conclusion of it thereafter. It was nice having this particular session with you. Let's move on now. Former governor of Kano State and leader of the Kokonsia movement, Senator Rabiu Kokonso, has denounced recent defections from the new Nigerian People's Party to the All Progressives Congress, calling them a profound betrayal. Speaking at his Miller Road residence on Friday, Kokonso addressed supporters from Takai local government area who refused to follow federal lawmakers, including Senator Abdurrahman Kau, in defecting to the ruling party. He commended voters in Kano South for resisting financial inducements during the election, and warned that those who abandoned the NNPP would eventually regret their decision. Kokonso also urged youth to reject self-serving politicians, insisting that opposing the Kokonsia movement would be no easy feat. Many thanks for staying with us. Now, the protest by support staff at the Warri Refinery and a petrochemical company in Delta State entered its 6th day on Friday, with workers accusing powerful interests within the oil and gas sector of deliberately sabotaging efforts to revive Nigeria's refineries. The disgruntled casual workers are that the NNPCL are demanding better welfare and formal recognition as essential personnel, insisting the refinery will remain inactive until their grievances are addressed. Protest leader Dafe Egomitedo stated that the workforce feels abandoned despite years of dedicated service. He called on NNPCL's new group CEO Bashir Ojulari to urgently intervene, describing their current treatment as modern slavery. Meanwhile, Nigeria's refinery operations have been marked by a period of sudden starts and stops, along with significant shakeups in the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. And this explains our News Central's Idalani Omoni gives an update on the current state of the refineries and the challenges facing Nigeria's oil production.
major government-owned refineries under the NNPCL that have been abandoned for years. The unproductivity of the 4 refineries in Port Harcourt, Warri and Kaduna, with a total combined capacity of 445,000 barrels per day, had forced Nigeria to resort to the importation of petrol and other refined petroleum products from abroad. Amid the controversy of fuel subsidy removal and unoperational refineries, Aliko Dangote floated the biggest petrochemical refinery to fill the gap in Nigeria. Shortly after it came on stream, Nigeria's refineries suddenly became operational after years of inactivity. Months later, Nigeria's refinery operations have been a story of sudden starts and stops. Despite the initial positive news of the restart of the Port Harcourt refinery after a long-term rehabilitation process, it has been operating at a reduced capacity, with the documents revealing that it has been running at just 37.87% of its installed capacity. The Kaduna refinery has also been struggling to operate at full capacity. The Warri refinery was initially declared operational after a revamp that cost $897.6 million, but it was shut down shortly after due to safety concerns unrelated to crude distillation unit's main heater. The shutdown has raised questions about the effectiveness of the revamp and the transparency of NNPCL's management of the facility.
We've been hearing other reports from the social media. We couldn't lay hand on anyone that is credible to refute the fact that that refinery actually came to light.
It is imperative that the NNPCL provide full transparency on the expenditures and activities undertaken during Malam Kyari's tenure. This information is crucial for ensuring accountability and restoring public trust in the operations of the NNPCL.
The recent sudden shakeup at the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, NNPCL, announced by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, without doubt, sent shockwaves through Nigeria's oil and gas industry. The changes included removal of Mele Kyari as the group CEO and termination of the managing directors of Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna refineries, alongside several other senior staff members. Being the backbone of Nigeria's economy, what happens in the NNPCL impacts the entire economy. As such, industry experts believe that the key to unlocking the full potential of Nigeria's oil industry lies in transparency, accountability, and diversification.
The NNPC then needs to look at the assets on its books, such as the refineries, and ask itself hard questions. Is that the best capital allocation for its business? If it's not, then maybe the time to sell it is now.
With the shake-up in the NNPC Limited, the questions being asked is, to what extent would the new appointments in the organizations do things different from the previous ones? Are the appointments made to bring change, mark a new beginning, or is it just another round of routine exercise to bring in new people to come and share Nigeria's treasury? There is a myriad of challenges that a new board is expected to tackle as Nigerians hope for a brighter future where the benefits of oil production are shared by all.
And now to security matters. Northern governors and traditional rulers have convened in Kaduna to tackle the worsening insecurity and other critical issues facing the region. The high-level summit will focus on insecurity, poverty, the growing number of out-of-school children, and broader socioeconomic challenges confronting northern Nigeria. Governors from Zamfara, Kebbi, Gombe, and Niger States are in attendance, alongside prominent traditional leaders, including the Sultan of Sokoto, Sahad Abubakar, the Emir of Zazzau, and Etsu Nupe. The meeting is being chaired by the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum and governor of Gombe State, Inuwa Yahaya. Governor Sani of Kaduna is set to deliver the welcome address as host. Regional leaders have stressed the urgent need for coordinated and sustained action to confront the North's deepening security and development crisis. Attorney General under Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi has refuted claims that the federal government has initiated extradition proceedings against separatist figure Simon Ekpa. In a statement issued on Friday, Fagbemi's office clarified that his remarks at a stakeholders forum in Abuja were misinterpreted. According to his spokesperson, Kamaruddin Ogundele, the AGF confirmed that Nigeria is in contact with Finnish authorities and is closely monitoring Ekpa's ongoing trial in Finland. Ekpa, a prominent member of the banned indigenous people of Biafra, is currently facing terrorism charges in the European country. Fagbemi emphasized that any decision regarding extradition will be based on the outcome of legal proceedings abroad. He also urged the media to refrain from speculative reporting on such a sensitive issue. We also tell you that Nigeria's justice sector has been urged to embrace technology to improve access to justice for citizens, eradicate systemic inefficiencies, including pretrial inequalities, and improve the pace of justice delivery for many on the nation's awaiting trial list. This was during a Justice Innovation and Technology Summit in Abuja, where experts present unveiled an AI tool expected to eradicate these challenges and enhance justice delivery in the country. News Central's correspondent Joshua Imarayi reports.
Nigeria's criminal justice system has been described as slow and frustrating, with thousands of awaiting trial inmates unable to access justice for minor crimes. The sector has been largely described as one characterized by systemic inefficiencies and pretrial inequalities, as many judges and magistrates continue to rely on the outdated manual way of recording proceedings during cases. This for some is befuddling, considering the availability of technology and artificial intelligence which can improve this process extensively.
It's unfortunate really that we're beginning to wake up in the year 2025 to start to consider what some other countries have started decades ago, and to think that technology is not something that we read about, it's something we have at our fingertips.
With the advancement in technology we have, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, automatic speech recognition, and all fancy technologies we have currently, most of the judges in the country still write with long hands. Inmates are transported from correctional centers to the courts where they need to be for their cases to be heard.
As justice and development experts converge in Abuja for the Justice Innovation and Technology Summit, the slow pace of the judiciary has come into focus. Some say that the need to eradicate bottlenecks, which inhibits access to justice using technology, has become needful.
This summit is more than a dialogue. It is a call to collective action, to reimagine justice delivery through technology, to dismantle bottlenecks in the system, and to create an ecosystem where every citizen, regardless of their social standing, has timely, transparent, and fair access to justice.
We want to achieve two things from this summit. We want to discuss the challenges that are currently in the legal industry, and we want to propose solutions.
The Chief Executive Officer of Pro-Transparency Organization, the Public and Private Development Center, Lucy Obagi, unveiled Nigeria's first AI tool known as Judic AI, saying that it will enhance the function of judges. Obagi adds that it will improve time for collation of court proceedings using artificial intelligence and improve access to justice for thousands of Nigeria's awaiting trial inmates.
Let us be inspired today. Let us collaborate, and most importantly, let us act with urgency, creativity, and accountability.
The tool has been tested in about 5 states of the nation by 58 judges and magistrates, and reviews say that it has reduced their workload by 50% and backlog of over 2,500 pretrial detainees. They also add that it has improved case tracking, accelerated trials, produced fairer outcomes, and safeguarded the nation's judiciary. In Abuja for News Central, I am Joshua Imarayi.
Talking about tackling insecurity now, the Delta State House of Assembly has organized a public hearing on a bill to amend the State Community Security Core Agency law. The public hearing at the instance of the Joint Committees on Special Bills and Peace and Security was held at the State Assembly Complex in Asaba. The Central correspondent, Austin Azu, tells us more.
In recent years, Delta State residents have faced several security challenges, including header-farmer conflicts, kidnappings, ritual killings, cultism, among others, thus prompting both government and inhabitants to seek a lasting solution. Against this backdrop, the Delta State House of Assembly is seeking to amend the State Community Security Corps Agency Law 2020 to, among other things, increase community safety, improve trust between the police and the public, and enhance neighborhood stability.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
These stakeholders are here for the public hearing.
This bill seeks to amend the old bill that we had, and by the time it is assented to, we hope that it will be activated to check the insecurity situation in Delta State. We have deemed it expedient to invite the public to send in memoranda on their thoughts, their contributions towards this bill, so that by the time we pass it, it will be for the general good of Deltans.
The cross-session expressed their concerns on the bill.
It will add to the security architecture of the state, and because the approach is from bottom to top up, all the community will be well policed and information flow.
They said the politicians, we have to nominate them, and that's our own reservation. You know, we all know our country. Politicians do not nominate security members in our community to guard us, because we know they are going to use them for their own selfish interest tomorrow. So it is, if they want to select members of the security corps, let them go to the grassroots and do that.
The bill is expected to return to the House for committee of the whole, where it will be considered clause by clause, and thereafter third reading and passage, and subsequently be forwarded to the governor for assent. In Asaba for News Central, Austin Azu.
Away from that, the importance of early warning systems has been identified as a critical factor in preventing crime and fostering sustainable, peaceful coexistence among people of diverse socio-cultural backgrounds. This was one of the key messages from the General Officer commanding 3 Armored Division and Commander of Operation Safe Haven, Major General Folusho Oyinlola, during a stakeholders engagement held in Barkin Ladi local government area of Plateau State. News Central's Chizobanyowe has more.
Barkin Ladi, a local government area in north-central Nigeria's Plateau State, lies within the Plateau North Senatorial Zone and comprises 17 districts. The residents are predominantly farmers, thanks to the area's fertile land. Livestock herding is also a significant part of the local economy. Since 2001, Barkin Ladi has experienced waves of violent attacks, leaving over 1,000 people dead, many injured, and vast amounts of property destroyed. These attacks are attributed to what many describe as multidimensional factors, ranging from cattle rustling and farm destruction to underage grazing, night grazing, and livestock poisoning. These persistent security concerns prompted the latest stakeholders meeting convened by Major General Folusho Oyinlola, the General Officer commanding 3 Division and Commander Operation Safe Haven. He urged residents to refrain from activities that could threaten the fragile peace in Barkin Ladi local government area.
There is growing unease about the influx of large number of cattle into farming communities. While the movement of livestock in Barkin Ladi and indeed Plateau States is not unusual, the scale and timings of this influx raises legitimate security concerns. Unfortunately, this development has already resulted in adverse outcomes, including farm destructions, isolated attacks, and attacks on livestock.
In response, community stakeholders weighed in, especially addressing misunderstandings regarding the GOC's comments on the influx of large-scale cattle movements into the area.
The message that the GOC brought was very clear. The message that he brought in is, as the season is coming for farming, let us keep watch over our cattle and let farmers farm.
Based on what he said we're going to form a committee between the herders and the farmers so that if there is anything, we should tackle it in the way that it will not resolve to crisis.
If we are bringing peace, we will not look at all those things that we are back. We will look at how to prevent them from occurring.
Now, with the message of the GOC at this stakeholders' engagement and the different opinions of these participants here, it is expected that the relative peace here in Barkin Ladi local government area of Plateau State will be sustained even as the farming season is approaching. In Barkin Ladi local government area of Plateau State for News Central, Chizoba Anyoe.
At least 78 criminals have been arrested by the Kano State Police Command between April 23 and May 9, 2025. The Kano State Commissioner of Police, Ibrahim Bakori, made this known to newsmen in the state capital, Kano, while giving a scorecard of the command's activities. Bakori said that the police recovered a large consignment of illicit drugs while arresting a notorious drug dealer with the name Sulaiman Danwawu. He added that several dangerous weapons were recovered, including stolen items and vehicles used for illicit operations.
Earlier on, arrested on 31st July 2022 by the command with 500 cartons of the same suspected tramadol tablet and charged to court accordingly. Similarly, following credible intelligence, a suspected notorious armed robber was arrested with recovery of 2 Beretta pistols with 10 rounds of live ammunition. In the whole, between 23rd April and 19th May 2025, the command arrested a total of 78 suspects and recovered various exhibits, including firearms, dangerous weapons, illicit drugs, and stolen properties. Below is the summary of major achievements recorded in the period under review. 5 armed robbery suspects, 7 suspected drug dealers, 1 suspected cattle rustler, 4 suspected fraudsters, 13 suspected thieves, 48 suspected thugs, endeavor. Recoveries: 2 Beretta pistols with 10 rounds of live ammunition, 4 cartons of 4 sachets of suspected pragabalin tablets, 63 pieces of suspected diazepam tablets.
Relatedly, in Kaduna State, northwest of Nigeria, the scars of banditry runs deep as whole communities have been displaced, with families torn apart and survivors left with nothing but trauma. A year after violent attacks forced many families from their ancestral homes, victims are still struggling to rebuild their lives, with their pleas for help seemingly lost in the wind. In this special report, our correspondent Jamil Mabai brings you the heartbreaking stories of those living in the shadow of terror.
They came with violence and left with everything. Homes reduced to ashes, livelihoods wiped out. Lives shattered in seconds. For the people of Guda community in Kofi local government of Kaduna State, banditry isn't just a headline, it's a daily nightmare that refuses to end.
tun da mu an mamu banna ta mamaki amma babu kamar su gaban mu aka kashe shi sannan kuma dama kamin shi an mamu gawawaki sun yi a kirga yanzu dai magana da ake a gurguje ba mai wata sana'a wadda za a ci gata takamaiman mutum na neman iyalan shi abinci
saboda akwai wani lokaci wanda ma an kusa sati ban san inda iyali na suke ba san inda nake ba rayuwa ta ni kan hankali na ma bai kwanci kusan ban san abin da nake wani lokaci wala ya na hake wani lokacin ban gane lokacin da ake ciki saboda abin nan ya tada mana hankali.
Once these fields fed families, now they are graveyards of memories. Farmers too terrified to return.
Noma ina noma yayo noma sai da abin da ba a rasa ba a gurguje ka je ka fara shakka an ce gasanan ko kuma kana noma an ce gasanan ka tashi ka ruga in ba masu gonakai ba nan jikin birci to ba wanda ya noma can abin da ya magona kai sai dai yanzu suna nan an sanya musu wuta duk haki ne an toye.
Their stories are not just a pain, they are warnings. Survivors mute what authorities won't admit. This crisis is spreading, from whispers in distant villages to bloodshed on their doorsteps. Armed young men, ruthless and unchecked, turning villages into war zones. Families who once only heard of the violence now live it.
Garanti ne wannan ni duk inda aka ce wani abin zai je ba ni musu saboda ga can baya labarin abin muke ji nesa sai aka waye gari ya matso mu akalla an ɗauka mu san huda tun can baya sa ya kai 60 da wani abu
yanzu ka dauka wannan kayan da ke gida wallahi su kadai ne gida na an kona shaguna an kona ban ga yadda zan ban koma gari kuma in ce zan ci abinci a gari saboda yanayin da ake.
1 year later, the world has moved on. But for the victims of Katsina banditry, time stands still. Their question remains, when will help come? Or will their cries fade into the silence, like the ashes of their forgotten homes? In Katsina, reporting for News Central, I am Jamil Mabai.
A very touching story, Jamil. Thank you so much for bringing this to our notice. Now, let's head to Kogi State, where the Ogori people, part of their Koko group within the larger Yoruba ethnic family, are holding fast to their cultural roots, even as many have embraced Christianity and Islam. One of the most cherished expressions of their heritage is the Ovia Osese Festival, a unique rite of passage for young girls transitioning into womanhood. But this annual event is more than just a cultural milestone. It is a powerful symbol of unity for the Ogori people, drawing sons and daughters from across the world back home to celebrate their identity. The Central's Blessings Masugu was at the heart of the celebrations and now brings us the concluding part of her special reports.
It's day 7 and the final day of the Ovia Osese Festival in Kogi State, and the Ogori people are excited for the arena event, which is the major celebration when the maidens are finally revealed after spending about 2 weeks in the Iodina's house, receiving industrial training and learning how to live and thrive as women in the society. Earlier in the day, we visited the Iodina, the woman king, and the equivalent of the nurturer of the maidens in Ogori land.
My name is Mabel. I know Musugu. I feel happy. I feel great. The name of our age group is Tekaron Age Group. You can see we are gorgeous. The importance of Ovia Osese Festival is initiating our daughters to womanhood. It's an abomination for an Ogori indigene to be pregnant before Ovia Osese. This is a great joy that we see our daughter that they have done their Ovia Osese before marriage, and we are also teaching them how to be a good wife to the husband in their household. 5 of my children have done their Ovia Osese.
At the arena, a burst of colors as usual. The future Eviers, who are called the Ibusukes, dance in procession, followed by the Eviers, who are the actual celebrants, flanked by elderly women. After which the Iodina is escorted in, followed by different age groups, dignitaries and neighboring guests.
Every year we have the best cultural treat. I think it starts from the carnival from the previous day, the Ovia day. So there's a collation of results, and then the best group is given a trophy. Okay, we hold it for a year, and after the year, we return it, and I think we'll get it again. We held it for 2 years consecutively. I grew up knowing about the Ovia Festival. In the past, I think it's still like that these days. I hear that it helps ladies to stay pure, because everyone wants to go through the Ovia Festival. So the Ogorians are proud of bringing out pure girls.
I'm very happy. I'm so excited to be among the Eviers of 2025. If you haven't done Ovia 2025, it's an insult to the family, because the female child is not set for humanhood, and without Ovia you cannot get married. Only virgins are allowed to participate in Ovia.
The governor of Kogi State, His Excellency Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo, arrived at the venue, gave a speech congratulating the Oguri community for a successful event.
I sincerely appreciate you for this wonderful occasion. It is with immense pride and deep appreciation that I stand here before you today as a special guest of honor at this year's Ovia Osese Festival, right here in the historic and culturally rich Oguri community of Ogori-Magogo local government. Today is not just a celebration of culture, it is a celebration of identity, of value, and of sacred bond between generations. The Ovia Osese Festival remains one of the most historic and more symbolic cultural events in our dear state, and I commend the people of Ogori for keeping this tradition alive and with such compassion and dignity.
This celebration focuses on purity, but beyond that, unity and oneness. Different groups present songs and dances, while dignitaries and guests watch.
Well, we planned for it, and it came out the way we wanted. So we thank God for everything. Well, we're looking forward to a better Ovia Osese Festival that will be built around tourist centers in Ogori. And we look forward to receiving more guests, and more than what we have this year.
Fantastic report from Blessings there. Thank you so much for that. We now go on a very short break. When we return, we'll tell you about war crime charges in the Central African Republic. Do stay with us. We'll be back in a bit. Authorities in the Central African Republic have confirmed the arrest of rebel leader and former government minister Amel Sayo, who faces charges of crimes against humanity, war crimes and rebellion. Prosecutors say Sayo was detained in Cameroon earlier this year as he attempted to travel to France. He was transferred to Bangui on Monday. Sayo leads the rebel group CMS-PR, which is accused of carrying out multiple attacks on government forces, including a deadly raid in the northern Makunda region. A judicial investigation is now underway, with several of Sayo's associates also in custody. Despite ongoing efforts by CR's army, supported by Russian Wagner mercenaries and Rwandan troops, violence persists in parts of the country. In sports, Nasarawa Amazons came from behind to defeat Niger States 2-1 in the opening match of the 2024-2025 NWFL Premiership Super 6 playoffs at the Remo Star Stadium in Ikenne. Rita Tsibi gave Niger States an early lead in the 13th minute before the Amazons responded through Janat Akikeromoe in the 40th minute to level the North Central Derby. Josephine Matthias then netted the winner in the 55th minute, securing all 3 points for the Lafia-based side. The match featured intense action with both sides battling fiercely in a tightly contested opener. Nasarawa Amazons now sit top of the Super 6 standings ahead of later fixtures involving Bayelsa Queens, Rivers Angels and Edo Queens. And that's all at this hour, but before we go, we'll look at our top stories again. All Progressives Congress is holding local government primary election in Lagos. Northern governors, traditional rulers are meeting in Kaduna to tackle worsening insecurity and other critical issues facing the region. We also told you that the Central African Republic country has detained rebel leader Mel Sayo over war crime charges. To send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. You can follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. Watch us live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, StarTimes channel 274, Avo TV and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Lekon Onobanjo.